Boom. We're in action.
All right, we're in action.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Nice to meet you, Isaiah.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Mitchell.
This is our first time meeting. This is Isaiah. He is a boxer. That's all I pretty much know.
Yeah.
But if you want to give like a brief description about who you are, it's just so the listeners know.
Yeah, no. So for those of you who are wondering who I am, my name is Isaiah Haya, or Isaiah the Hurricane Haya. That's the stage name. And I started boxing in 2017, and I'm from St. John, New Brunswick. I am a Canada Games gold champion, gold medalist. Sorry, and I started boxing. So I had a couple friends in high school who did it as well, and so in high school, right, I had a group of boys, and you know, the boys like to fight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in the boxing ring though. And then around, I think it was like 2018, I was like 16 years old, and anyways, there was an incident that happened, and basically my mom was like, look, like enough's enough, like we gotta like get you like a hobby. And it's funny, so
So were you roughhousing it around?
Yeah. You know, I was kind of rugged. You know, I'm more calm now. Like
you knew you had an ability, and you were just like, well, I can use this. And then, before you realized boxing was the way to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had a family friend my mom grew up with, and it's funny, right at the time that all this kind of happened, he was opening a boxing club. And it was funny, prior to that, I was always like, Mom, I want to try boxing. But she never really took it serious. And then this kind of happened. And then I feel like it was almost like meant to be. But like, anyways, I joined his boxing club. And I was like, I came in like on the first day. I was the first one. Like I was super hyped. And honestly, it was like the best choice I could have ever made. And like here I am, right?
That's wicked.
On the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast. On the podcast. Yeah. Making your first debut on like media.
Yeah, right.
Technically, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
This is your first kind of promotion? Friend to a friend promotion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's wicked.
Yeah, man. So what actually the absolute? What's the name? Like the name? Like what's behind it? Like what's
behind it?
Yeah, like what made you like come up? Like why absolute?
Somebody asked me that question once.
Okay.
See how it says A and B?
Uh-huh.
You know how like an algorithm, things will pop up based on like trending or like based on what like you watch and stuff. I thought that like before like you watch even podcasts, A and B would be the first thing that comes up, like alphabetical order.
Yeah.
I figured A and B would be the first thing to pop up.
Okay.
So if it becomes big enough, I think it'll be recommended before other podcasts.
Oh wow.
So
work smarter, not harder,
exactly.
Right? That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Copyright it. Yeah, copyright that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've loved boxing.
Okay.
Like I've always been a huge fan.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say huge, but I've always been into it. And in my basement, I have like probably the same size as this room, and just a boxing bag in the middle. And like I practice all by myself, just like watch YouTube videos, just to like self-taught kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I recently, like the past month, I've been skipping rope every day.
Okay.
Just trying it.
Yep.
And it's like super beneficial. Like,
right. Yeah.
Every time I would play like other sports, one of my ankles would like always really, really hurt after.
Okay.
And I noticed that skipping, like bouncing up and down,
right,
strengthens it so much.
Yeah. 100%.
So much.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
No, 100%. Like it's like it's one of those like things that go way back in boxing, like skip rope. It's just one of those. It's like hitting the heavy bag.
Yep.
Skipping rope, right? It helps you with like rhythm and like footwork, because footwork's like the most important thing in boxing. Believe it or not. I mean, think about it like building a house, right? You have a foundation. You start with your foundation, and you slowly kind of build yourself up, right? So like when I first started boxing, actually, my coach, like I was like excited to hit the bag, start the punching. And he's like, yep. He's like, you're literally. So he took like a tape arrow on the ground. So it was like straight line, then 2 lines off to the side. And he's like, all right, you're gonna step like here, step over, turn, go back, step back, go back, turn over, right?
Yeah.
And
in the boxing stance,
yeah,
like doing that back and forth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and for like 4 weeks, man, I didn't even touch a bag. I didn't even put on a glove. Like
that's a good coach right there.
Yeah, it was kind of like wax on, wax off. It's like, I want to do all this, like, I want to do the punching and stuff. But you gotta, like, kind of see like the reason behind why you're doing what you're doing. And honestly, like now I got good footwork, you know. So I'm glad that, like at the time I was like, oh, this is really boring.
Maybe this isn't for me. Yeah, but you stick through it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you never know what you find at the end, right?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
You did the footwork for like 4 weeks.
Yep.
You're kind of contemplating like, this might not be for me.
Right.
But what part in your head was like, I'm gonna just continue doing this, even though it was like, crap, like this, my coach got me working on footwork. Like I'm so excited to just like slip and punch and do all these techniques and stuff.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Well, I think it was the fact that I just didn't get to that part yet. So that's for one. I didn't get to that part. So I was like, okay, like I really want to do this. I think it was just like I wanted to like actually learn, and I just like that motivation.
That's good.
It's just the motivation. Like I mean, and sometimes like, and still to this day, like there's gonna be there's times where like I'm like, oh, I gotta go hit a run, or oh, I gotta go hit the gym, and I don't even feel like it. I'm tired, or I got studying, you know. But like that's what's gonna make you successful is doing the things that you don't want to do. You have to do, you know. And then, but like if you do it, it's honestly not so bad. Like and you'll you know be successful.
You posted a video you ran in today, right?
Yeah.
Man, like the past, I don't know, 2 weeks, I just started saying like, oh man, I get to do a podcast.
Right.
It used to be like, oh, I got to go do a podcast. Like I have to go do this. Yeah, like I'm excited that I get to go do it, or that I have to go do it.
Right.
But saying that, it was almost like a negative side to it. So I'm like, I get to go do a podcast. Like, let's go do it. Like I get to work towards this goal. I get to like, just saying that is so exciting. But the reason why I asked you if, like, why did you continue with the 4 weeks, like of just doing the footwork is because whenever I did something, it almost felt like I'm not sure why I'm doing it. I'm just doing it.
Okay.
And I'm just sticking through it. And then like, it takes 4 weeks for me to realize, this is why I like it. Or like takes 2 months and I'm like, oh, this is why. I don't know why, but like anything that's like right for me, you know what I mean? Like the right thing, not now if there's something that I'm doing and it's like, oh, that's not for me. Then I know.
Yep.
But sometimes it's like, oh, why am I doing this?
No.
Like I was like, I was a little bit of a theater nerd back in high school, and I like went into play, and I was like, why am I doing this? Like I was like, I might get hurt for this, but this was when I was in grade 9, grade 10. So there wasn't a lot of like gay awareness, I guess, or like
kind of like LGBTQ, like that conversation, thing.
There wasn't a lot of awareness behind it, so like I was just like, oh, isn't that for like gay people? Like,
okay,
you know what I mean?
It's so like that stigma,
exactly.
Stereotypical.
We had like the geeks and nerds back then. That's what we called them. Now it's everybody's all right, but everybody's equal and stuff.
Oh yeah,
but at the time I was like, isn't that for gay people? And then I went in it, and then like 2 months later we had like a practice that we weren't allowed to go to, and I was like, man, I kind of miss like some of those people.
Right.
And it was sick.
No, exactly. Like, I find like too like just like the way I look at it is like embrace who you are, be yourself, and like the people that truly care about you and that like you for who you are, you'll find them. You know, like I've had friends in the past where like I thought they were super cool and like I've had good times with them, but they were just like temporary friends. You know what I mean? And I sometimes
like a leaf.
Yeah, exactly. And I find too like sometimes like I don't know if it's just me or not, but like when I make interactions with people, like I can already tell if they're like they're genuine, you know what I mean? So then I know if they're like gonna be my longtime friends or my temporary friends. And so just kind of being yourself, like you'll find the right people, you know? And like regardless of whether that's theater, whether it's like boxing, whether it's running, psych, it could be anything, you know? Podcasts.
Seriously.
Yeah, for real.
My girlfriend, like, she's super shy, doesn't really talk too much.
Okay.
I told her one time, I was like, I kind of like that attitude, because it's like the people that actually are supposed to be in your life will get with you at some point somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you talk too much, you're going to run into more people, cause more problems. But if you don't, it's like certain people are going to come to your life and like that they're there. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%. And like I found from my experience, like it's people like you don't even, it's like the interaction and like the relationship happens so like organically, you know what I mean? When I say that, like so like it's just like you're not even trying. Like it's just like
what do they say? 2 days with this person is longer than the person that I had for like 2 years or something. It's just
it's kind of like, just because they're day one doesn't mean they're A1. You know what
exactly.
I mean? So like I've had people like that I've known for like since elementary, and like I don't even talk to them. I mean, I see them as respect, like for sure. But then I have people that I just met like this semester, and like they're like my close friends, and like we're all like, it's good here like at the university too, because it's like this is the only like the boxing program is the only one in Canada.
I know.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Fun fact, Crandall University, only boxing place in Canada.
Yeah, only boxing program. And and honestly like this opportunity like helps so much.
Yeah,
and,
it's a game changer.
Yeah, no, and the thing is like I was kind of, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I got offered to go here for boxing, and my heart, like at the end of the day, I want to like go like to the big city, I want to go to a big city somewhere. Yeah. So that's kind of like what I was like aiming to do. But I think the problem is that I was in such a rush just to get out.
Yep.
So like I feel like, so at first I was kind of like, yeah, like it'd be good, but I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get to Atlanta and work with like these good coaches.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to get to the Big Apple, right? Yeah. So like but no, like I thought about it more, and I was like, you know what? It's like I'm gonna give this a try. You know, like education, boxing, literally in one. It's like 2 birds, 1 stone, right? Yeah. So anyways, best decision, man.
Sweet.
Yeah. It was
and again, it's another foundation for you, and you can get to the big city through this. Like it's not 100%. Like it's holding you back or slowing you down. I think it's better. It's like you're getting into the nitty gritty and like learning specific stuff and indulging more in the sport than just like, I don't know. I feel like you could jump right into a big city, try to get with a coach and try to like fight your way up the rankings, get publicity. Yeah. But this is another route, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think it's any worse or better. It's just a different route.
Yeah, no,
which
exactly.
Is cool.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, and like good things take time, right? So
exactly.
I'm just kind of like, just going with the flow. Yeah. Like I'm not rushing anything, because like that's usually like when it doesn't turn out, the best, right?
It's a good headspace to be in.
Yeah.
That's, I feel the same way. Like
yeah.
Like this podcast or YouTube, like it's like I want to have like, at first I was like, oh, I want to have like famous people on my podcast. And like super cool people, or like you know what I mean, like people that the world thinks are really awesome.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, let me like see how much I can do locally and like around my community, and see how much I can grow with these people, and then expand and like I don't know, and then more about knowledge and not so much like the famous part of things.
Yeah. And the thing is, like I feel like those people, like for example, like say Jimmy Fallon, like it's not like they were just like Jimmy Fallon,
right?
Like they
had to work towards it. Yeah. He was like a comedian at first or something. Okay. Like he did like comedy.
Okay.
And I think he he had to work his way up to get to those positions.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So you it's kind of like people, like I found with boxing too, like people like want to like be that guy, or like like be the superstar, but it's like people don't want to go through what it takes to be the superstar.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
And like
they don't want to wake up and run every day. It's
no. And don't get me wrong, like I was like I've had those moments where I'm like, shit, I gotta get the fuck up. I've only got 5 hours of sleep, like a shitty sleep. I just gotta get my ass up, like and like. Who knows? I might puke, like
literally,
literally at 7 a.m. Like I'm just like hustling my ass off. So I mean, but then like that shit pays off, right?
It does.
It's rewarding. So I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, literally. I wanted to know more about Turkey.
Okay.
Turkey.
Okay. Yeah.
Voice crack in there.
Yeah. Yeah, Turkey, man. It's like a big like cultural. I don't know. It's like a cultural shock, but at the same time, like it was kind of like expected, I guess you want to say, like because I mean you're going to like the Middle East, like it's gonna be different over there, but man, like it was like probably by far the coolest trip I went on. I remember, so to get there we drove from here to Halifax, and then we stayed the night, and then we flew from here to Boston. And then we had a layover, and then I think it was like Boston right to Turkey.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we landed in Istanbul, and that's like one of like the big cities. And then, but we actually weren't staying in Istanbul. We were staying in this other city called Samsun. Okay. So it's think about like Samsung, just without the G. It's like Samsung.
Oh, Samsung.
Yeah. No, it's actually pretty cool though. I don't know if you ever heard of like the Black Sea.
Yeah.
So it's like
the Dead Sea. Is that the same thing? No, Black Sea. I think you're right. Black Sea.
It's the Black Sea, and it's like right. I think like Ukraine and Russia are like on the other side or something. So like, but we were like right along the coast of like the Black Sea.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, for those of you who know what the Black Sea is, I'm not sure.
It's big in the Bible.
Is it?
I think if you go in the Bible, I think every Bible has like maps in the back, and I think the Black Sea is like on a big page, and there's like a bunch of countries that was part of the Bible. But the Black Sea, it's near there.
Yeah, really so close. No, I didn't even know about it either until I got there. But no, like the food, like their food is like so good. Like like I found like.
Oh man, Western food is crap. Like
yeah.
Like go across the ocean and everything is like more homemade, organic.
Like it's like just more healthy. I think.
Yeah, just healthy in general. Yeah, literally.
Because it's like all this like greasy shit like Wendy's, A&W, McDonald's. Like they have that, but they didn't really honestly I didn't even see a McDonald's or nothing like that actually over there.
Probably not.
No, but like the places I went to like to go to eat was really good.
Wicked.
Yeah, no, and then as far as like the competition too, like it was my first like international tournament, so it kind of gave me like a new perspective, you know, because it's like okay, like I'm doing good in Canada, you know, but now it's like let's see how I stack up against the whole world, you know what I mean? So like when I went over there, I think there was 20 different countries for boxing, but like I didn't realize the whole tournament was like world combat. So it wasn't just boxing. It was like
different martial arts.
Yeah. There was Muay Thai, kickboxing, karate. There's one called Wushu.
Wushu.
I've
never heard of Wushu.
No, it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like think about like kung fu. It's like I don't know, like a cousin to kung fu. Like it's kind of like. I don't know how to explain it.
Does it look staged when they're fighting?
Well, actually, it's funny. The first night I was there. We met this group of guys. We were just like walking around, like we were staying at this university, so we were kind of walking around campus just to like kind of see like what was around. And there was this group of guys, and they were actually like dancers for the opening ceremony. Oh, cool. And but one of them knew like this martial art called Wushu. Anyways, and then he was showing me, and like so basically it's kind of more like holds and grabs, like, and it like for example, like if I were to like grab a hold of him, he would like know like what to do with his arms to like get like me off him. Yeah, it's kind of like
strange. I guess if a human got you in a certain position, you would probably know a certain position to wiggle your way out.
Yeah, it's kind of like grappling or like wrestling, I guess. I don't know.
Just a different,
Yeah, I don't know. You might have to search that one
out.
I don't
Wushu.
know a whole lot about it. It's kind of cool.
That's what it's called, Wushu?
Yeah, it's cool though. So yeah, there was that, and
was there just like basic wrestling? Is that no? That's different. That's like on the floor. That's not like in a ring. Was it all ring based? Like
no, actually, I think there was wrestling. So there was two. There was actually, it was cool. So boxing had their own like building.
That's right.
And then there was a separate building, like literally just right across, and it was like all like all the martial arts that just require a flat ground. It was like in there, so it was pretty cool. Unfortunately I didn't get to like get out to it because if it wasn't boxing, then I'd be like kind of out in the city because I just want to get out to the city. But the standard of boxing was pretty good too.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, I had a tough match against Korea, Team Korea. It was a good experience for me. There was a slight mistake during the fight, so I had an old mouth guard, and the mouth guard was actually too small. So the mouth guard, unfortunately, it fell out of my mouth 4 times, I believe, and I guess they take off points for that.
Wow.
Like the judges will, like, because you know how the judges like score points.
Yep.
So like they took off. I think they each took off 2 points.
Is it in the rule books? Like, have you looked and been like mouth guard?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know this until it happened, unfortunately. But they
goes to the judge. He's like 1 point, 1 point.
yeah, right. Because the first time it happened, they took a point off, and then like the third time it happened, I think they took another point off. So that kind of affected like the score. Not saying that like that's the reason why I lost, but that like, you know.
Yeah, well, it's like in boxing, it's like every point is crucial.
Oh, yeah.
Losing a point and gaining a point, very difficult. No, right. And it's just like...
Yeah, especially inside of 3 rounds, right?
Oh, like, yeah, that's hard to get back. Yeah, you got 3 rounds.
Yeah, you got 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, right?
So you win the round, how many points?
So I believe there's 5 judges. So if they give me... If it's like it's weird. The scoring is kind of weird. So I know, like, when I was there, they had, like, it's kind of cool. In the stands, there was, like, a screen facing us, and we'd actually get, like, see, like, who got the rounds. So, for example, like, it goes off of, like, what was it? Like, it's, like, a perfect, like, score is 10, right, for each round. So it go, like, 10, 20, 30, okay? So a perfect score would be 30. So say you won the round, it'd be, like, you get 10, he gets 9. Or if it was an absolute, like, if it was close, but if it was an absolute, like, I don't know, like, you, like, whooped his ass, it'd be, like, a 10-8. You know what I mean? So it kind of, like, I'm pretty sure, I forget what the score was, but I know at the end I had, like, I think it was, like, a 27 or something like that, and he had, like, 29 or 30.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. It's weird, too, because, like, it's one of those things where it's, like, it's constantly changing, like the rules and like how.
Especially your amateur boxer.
Yeah.
So especially that, like, it's like health restrictions and like also just legal purposes. I think your age group too. It has to be changing because they're always figuring new things out.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like okay, what does this country do that this country doesn't?
Right.
Like, for example, like once you get to a certain age in amateur boxing, typically. Once you hit the age of like 19, it's called like elite. So it's like 19 and up basically, and you usually it doesn't require headgear. And I know that it's like that in other countries, but this year or might have been 2020, they required like for Canadian boxing, you always wear headgear. Yeah.
So can you box against someone without headgear?
No,
like if you had headgear, could you box against someone without headgear, or
no,
vice versa?
It's always gonna be like the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean personally, like I've done both. So like when I was in Turkey, it was no headgear. I actually got another cool trip. I got to go to Dublin, Ireland to go fight, and it was no headgear. That was a good trip, and like I like it, like because I feel like the headgear it's kind of bulky.
I was gonna say, do you have like vision loss on the sides,
like very slightly. For me though, it's like if they don't hit you in the face, they'll hit your headgear, and then it looks like you got punched.
Yeah,
right?
And can you slip? Like, do judges notice that? You
can slip, but like if it hits you, it hits you, right? So like it doesn't matter. It could be the headgear, it could be your face, right? And that's kind of the shitty part about it. Where like if it's just no headgear, it's just you got hit in the face, right?
Yep.
So, but not that being said, it doesn't feel good to get hit in the face with no headgear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a different experience? Like, how different is it? Like you can absorb quite a shot for headgear, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No problem. But without headgear, it's like, oh crap. Like
it's not like too. The good thing is it's not too drastic. You know, like I've knocked people out without headgear. I've knocked people out with headgear. You know, so like the same outcome can still happen. You'll still feel the punches, but I think the headgear rule definitely like saves like your head a bit more.
Yep.
Me personally, like I adjusted to it well. I liked it more. The only thing I'd say that I didn't like was just like when you're going in, sometimes you'll clash heads. Like the odd time you'll get headbutted. But if it's headgear, it's like, okay, it's just your headgear, right? It's not, but it's like, you know, when you're like, someone's like going in, like it's called inside fighting, you know?
Yep.
It's like your head sometimes will like clash. So that's happened to me a few times, but other than that.
Is there, there's like techniques to grappling when you're in boxing, isn't there? Like when you're holding for a second and then like break off?
Yeah, it's like clinching, it's called.
Clinching, yeah, right.
So like there's a term, it's called framing. So it's like, for example, say like you always first rule of thumb when you're in a clinch, it's never good to have your the farther your arms are away from you, the worse it's gonna be. Just because.
Oh, so that's why they're all like.
Yeah, because they want to be like this, right? Yep. Because the thing is like even in the clinch you can still.
Yeah, they're tapping in your sides, boom, boom.
So you want to keep that guard nice and tight, right? So, but for example, like I was getting to, like. Sometimes I'll be in the clinch and like the shoulders, right? Like you have a lot of you can control, you can move them around with your shoulders, right? So you can actually like in boxing, you're allowed, you can literally grab the shoulders and spin them if you wanted to.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so like it's called framing. So it's like kind of like using like kind of like just like your frame, like your body frame to like your advantage, you know, to allow you to like get a punch off.
Yep.
Like if you're close in with a fighter, right? Like you can't really punch like this.
Mm-hmm.
So like what you're gonna do typically is like you'll frame off, so you'll like step back, and then you can punch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's lots of different strategies, and like there is like a bit of wrestling involved, but the thing is like I found like clinching is like very like energy consuming. And
is it? Well, dealing with another body is tough.
Yeah.
Like groundwork is harder than like being up on your feet.
Yeah. No, exactly. And like fuck, man. Like I've had sparring. So there's a pro from Fredericton. His name is Brandon Brewer, and he's I think he's had like almost 30 pro fights. But like I go up, I've had the pleasure to like meet him and like train with him, and we've sparred a few times, and he's like the master of like the clinch. Like I swear,
wow.
Yeah. And it's like, but it's like you wouldn't even realize, you wouldn't even think like it's a lot of energy, but it's like it's basically like wrestling, right?
Yep.
So you like all that like trying to move him around and all that, like it'll consume your energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And number one thing you want to do in boxing is be able to hold it.
Yeah, right.
So what's the longest fight you've done?
So
like rounds wise or time wise, I guess.
Like actual fight.
Like you probably train longer though, don't you?
Yeah. So for amateur, like I'm pretty sure globally it's only every 3 rounds. Once you get into pros though, it can be like 4, 6, 8, 10, and then for a world,
the most, right?
Yeah, for a world title shot though. If it's not a world title shot, it'll never be 12.
Okay.
But like before that, it'd be 10.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What was the McGregor and Mayweather one? Was that 8?
That was.
They probably went the full.
I think that was 12
rounds.
to be honest.
12.
I watched the fight.
I watched it too, but I feel like it wasn't 12. I thought it was 10.
No, I know. I think you're right. I think it was 10. Yeah, it was 10. Yeah, it was 10 I'm pretty. So. Yeah, it only.
Because I think McGregor almost made it to the end.
Yeah, he did. He did, and then he just got caught with a shot at the end, literally at the end. Yeah. Which honestly, like I know, like MMA is like it's kind of a mixed martial arts, so like. Where like boxing is like one specific one.
Mm-hmm.
So like honestly, like the fact that he even like went the distance with Mayweather, like props.
Impressive. Yeah, I think somebody said that he got the most shots in on Mayweather.
Oh really?
Ever.
Really?
Yeah, like,
no, really.
Yeah, he actually did.
No, that's
But I don't know.
Yeah.
McGregor probably fought hard for that.
Yeah. That being said though, he was out of his prime too. Mayweather was out of his prime. Yeah.
True.
So
what was he, like 42 or something?
He
crazy?
he was like he was old. He was getting older. Yeah, for sure.
What size do you fight at?
So I fight so it's like usually like there's like I know in pro there's like lightweight, then there's like welterweight, then there's like middleweight and like
so light heavyweight and then
and heavyweight and super heavyweight. So like it's weird in amateur boxing it's not quite like that. It's more like literally just like by kilograms. So like for example, I fight at 80 kilograms.
Welcome. This episode is sponsored by Piccadilly Coffee. Piccadilly Coffee has a passion for all things coffee, from bean to cup and everything in between. Sourcing beans from a small farm and cooperatives is a main priority. They also don't use technology and large machines to roast their coffee. They use sight, smell, and sound to ensure that each batch has the best flavor profile. Piccadilly Coffee also roasts in small batches, so their customers are always guaranteed fresh beans. Their mission is to provide the best quality product as well as the best customer service, all while enjoying the Piccadilly Coffee experience. Guys, I'm pretty sure like coffee is one of the most purchased items in the world. So if you're human and you buy coffee, just shop at Piccadilly Coffee. Support them. They're amazing. Matter of fact, I don't even like coffee, but ever since I started with them, I've started my addiction. So get at it.
So in pounds, it'll be like 176. Yeah, 176 pounds. So I know for Turkey, that's what I fought. And then I had a fight at Cranley University last Saturday, and that's what I fought at. But I found like, so I think it was a couple years back. Actually, no, it was 2021. It was last year. I had the chance actually to go up to the Olympic Stadium in Montreal and train with like Team Canada a bit.
That's sick.
Yeah. No, it was actually a really cool experience, man. And it's like, so like, for example, like Mike Tyson, he was a heavyweight, right? Mm-hmm. But he was only like 5'11".
He was tiny.
Yeah,
he was tiny in height.
Yeah. And like,
I was just thinking of his boxing.
No, right. He's right. And then you look at like Tyson Fury, he's like 6'5", 6'7".
Yeah.
Right. And so like height to a certain extent, like that is like, that has a big advantage, right? Because it's like they can hit you before you can hit them. So that means you got to work that much extra harder to get in on them, right? So like when I fought at Turkey, luckily, well, it's funny, my guy was actually shorter than me, surprisingly. But the day after, so all the guys I got eliminated in the first round actually got to go and train and like spar each other, which was actually pretty cool. So I sparred with the guy, I think he was from France. He was Team France, and like the height difference was like, so I'm 6 foot, right? He was, I think he's like 6'4", 6'5". So for me, like personally, like I'm kind of like short for my weight class because I'll be fighting guys like that. So I think what I'm like thinking about doing is actually like making a jump down a weight class to I think it's 75 kilograms.
Okay.
So that'd be like 165 pounds.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I have a fight coming up November 25th. And I think I'm going to go for that weight class.
That'd be wicked.
Yeah, man.
I wonder, do you have to, are you natural, like, at 176?
I'm a natural, like, 180.
I don't know, so you're heavier.
Yeah.
So you got to drop a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Really.
And the thing is, though, it's funny because, like, you think, like, oh, like, 15 pounds, that's going to take forever. But, like, you get to the science behind it, like, 15 pounds, and as far as boxing goes for weight cutting, is actually not a lot. You'd be surprised, like I know, like I have a teammate here. His name's Adrian. He's from Bermuda. He's in Bermuda actually. He has a fight, or he's fighting tonight actually.
Cool.
So yeah. Anyways, good luck to him. But he fights at what's he fight at? He fights at 147, or no, 156, and he walks around at 170. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, so like, yeah, so like, you gotta, don't get me wrong, like, you can't just rush it, like, rush a weight cut, because then you'll be drained, right? Mm-hmm. You definitely want to do it, like, weeks out in advance. So, like, I usually give or take, like, 3-4 weeks out from, like, the fight. You kind of slowly start to, like, you drink lots of water, then you slowly kind of cut that, and you just kind of got to watch what you eat.
Yep.
But, like, for me, like, today, for example, like, I was 176 today. Like, I'm on weight, right?
Yep.
So, it's, like, and that's just from working out. And I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I don't eat like shit by any means, but like I'm not super like strict on my diet. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like chicken, rice, fish.
Yeah, yeah. No, exactly. Like I'll start to kind of do that like towards the fight, but like as far as like just regular everyday eating goes, like you know.
Well, there's there's like that documentary on a football player that like ate just McDonald's.
Yeah,
just McDonald's, but he's a good player. And
right.
He was super fit and he was doing enough work to like that it didn't really matter. But again, I don't know how healthy it was for his organs. But
right. And it's actually funny. Like Floyd Mayweather, he used to. I think it was like a junk food diet. He used to do a junk food diet.
Really?
Yeah, you can search that out, man. He
wonder if that was to pack on muscle for him.
I'm not
he was
sure.
small. He's like what, 145 or something?
He's a light. I think he's like 135, 140. Wow. But he actually like he moved up weight classes too, so he was kind of like bouncing all over the place. But I remember I heard something about that. It was like a junk food diet. I don't know like as far as like that's all he ate, but he wasn't like super strict on his diet. So I mean, no, I don't recommend that by any means. No, like no. You know, you do you. Yeah. Do what works for you. But
you got your own lifestyle. Yeah. Pick and choose what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Do what works for you. So but like as far as like eating goes for me, like I'm not super strict on it. So yeah.
I was gonna ask you this earlier.
Yeah.
Knockout power. Did you figure out you had knockout power outside of boxing?
That's a good question.
Because I want to know if Isaiah was just like smoking dudes.
So that's a good question. So I'd say the way I put it. So like my prior experience to boxing, we'll just call it that. Yeah. I had like like I'd say I could hit hard, but I also didn't know how to properly punch, right?
Right.
Like my like at the end of the day, everyone has like it could be like you said, you do a podcast, right? Like this is your thing. Like everyone has that thing, and then everybody has like the things that they're good at with whatever they're doing, right? Yeah. So like when I was like fighting, I didn't know like necessarily that I had knockout power. But once I joined boxing, like it was kind of like over time. Like when I was like, for example, like like mitts, right? Mitt work, right? So like I remember, I think it was like eventually after all the footwork, I got to start like actually doing the punching. Me and my coach, we would do mitt work, and like when I was like hitting it, he's like shit, he's like fuck, he's like you got fucking power, man. And but over time that kind of developed, and yeah, so like I think that's like kind of like my thing. And like when I first started boxing, like I was kind of just like a scrapper, like a brawler. But now now I'm kind of like coming out of that, like because like it's good to like you kind of want to be good at everything, right? So I'm kind of becoming more of like a boxer. And then like I can mix it up with that knockout power, you know what I mean? Yeah. So as far as that goes, like I didn't know I had it until I figured out that I had it. I guess. You know what I mean? Like
you started learning, and then just
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that all your power comes from your back. That's where I heard that it all generates from. Comes from your back and like.
Okay, so it basically like from the bottom up, it starts from...
Well, it starts from your feet, right?
It starts from your feet, and then it actually starts from your hips. So it's all, like, you got to have, like, being very loose in the hips and loose with your arms is what's going to give you that power. Like, people think, like, they got to, like, tense up, and they just got to try to, like...
they got to, like, muscle through it
kind of thing. Fucking hit them as hard as they can, right? Yeah. But think of it, like, more of, like, your punches are kind of like a whip. Like, you know when a whip, it's like it's loose, but then when it makes that contact,
it's cutting.
Yeah, it's like cutting, right? It's the same thing. It's like you almost just kind of want to whip your punch into.
Yeah, because like, I guess that's why when you practice, like you punch and then you come back right as soon as possible. So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. It's like right? Yeah. But with your fist. So, yeah. I'd say it kind of just, it's all like it goes through your legs, through your hips, and then out to your fist, right? And then onto your opponent's face.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
One thing, I think I'm like really weak when it comes to like my body. Like I think I got a strong core, but like to take shots, I feel like I'd be very weak at.
Okay.
Is that like, how much work does it take to get like a strong body? Because I don't know, like in a fight, you're not always tense like in your body probably, and like you just get, I don't know.
Yeah. So first of all, like just like anything, like practice. Practice makes perfect, right? So I'd say just kind of like going through those experiences, like. For example, like when I first started boxing, like I mentioned to you how I was sparring with like that pro from Fredericton, Brandon Brewer. He actually, so I was sparring him one day, right? And I went down to Ormocto, the Ormocto Boxing Club, and he actually hit me with a liver shot. And I literally got on the fucking ground. And
you did the kneel down?
No, I'm talking about like I was face down on the canvas. My mouth guard was like across the ring. Like I got dropped. Like
wow.
Like I don't say like I don't admit that, and that doesn't happen too often. But I'll admit like I got dropped. And so like I think it comes from experience, and then it just comes from like it's called conditioning. So just conditioning your body.
Take the medicine ball and just smash it.
Yeah, do that, or literally you can just get someone with the gloves on and just start to punch your body.
Like hanging on the bar.
Yeah.
Get someone smashing you.
That's right. So I think it comes with like experience and training.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like you're just gonna be able to take a punch right off the hop. Right. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of got to go through that.
I just didn't. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it all takes work. Like that's the easy answer, I guess. But I just didn't know.
Easier said than done, though.
Yeah. Is there a way to absorb punches like through the body? Like, do you kind of, I don't know, like even though you get hit,
like
you're gonna absorb the punch either way.
Yeah, either way the punch is coming. But I'd say like I find you're just constantly relaxed. You know how you relax in a fight. It's the best thing you can do is just be relaxed. Okay, like you're loose through your body, and then I find like as soon as like right before you're about to actually get hit in the body, you almost want to like exhale, like, and then it kind of tenses you up, like, you know what I mean? You know how like boxers always do like yeah. So like people that are wondering like, so when why,
you go, that automatically tightens it up.
Yeah, but like it's more like when you see the punch coming, you do it right before. So like
Oh.
So for example, like if you were to go throw a punch at me, I would know like, okay, as soon as it lands, I'm gonna tense up. You know what I mean? You don't want to tense up the whole time. Like it's just kind of gonna happen. But I mean, in an ideal world, like you kind of just want to block it. Like you want to block like those punches. Yeah, because like in boxing, it's like the punches that you don't see coming that'll hurt you, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. As far as absorbing a shot though, it's just kind of like as for the body, it's kind of like you want to do like that exhale. You want to exhale out and like kind of like tense up.
Cool.
You know when like you're flexing your abs, it's the same thing. Like kind of like flex your abs, I guess.
So you just tense up.
Yeah, literally.
Basically.
And it's like it kind of takes that impact, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was like shifts or anything like that like I don't know slip people's punches or
I mean, don't get me wrong, you can do that, and that's like
the point of the footwork. I advise that.
Yeah, because like boxing is like hitting them, not getting hit.
Just
right?
muscle it through like this.
Yeah. That's if all else fails, right? You gotta have that you know, that hard, strong core to lean back on, right? Yeah. So, I'd say that'd be how you do it for sure. Yeah.
Neck training. Do you
neck
do a
training.
lot?
I don't. So that's actually a good question too. So I know I've done like strength conditioning in the past, and I remember it was kind of cool. So you know like cable weights, like if you're at a gym, say you have like a tricep like pull down. It's like on a cable, right?
Yeah.
So there was actually this cool little like thing you put on your head.
Oh, and you do like the
stuff? And you so like I've done that before. That was a long time ago, but I was doing that. But then like if you don't have like that kind of like sort of equipment, like literally you go to the boxing ring and like there's tension in the ropes, right? So literally just put the rope like literally right on your head and just push back. Just push back.
Nice.
Yeah, or you can do this one is a bit trickier, and like you want to be careful because like you want to make sure you know like that you can do it before you do it. Is like you'll lean on your back, or you'll lay on your back, and then you know like a bridge. You'll like make a bridge with like your body.
And you roll with your head. Yeah, and you're like this.
Like stay up on your head, right?
If anybody looks up Mike Tyson like neck training, you'll see a video of him like going all the way back.
Yeah, if you're wondering why his neck is like up to here, like that's why. Yeah. I've done that before too, and like that's no joke. I actually like you wouldn't think, but it's tough. It's good though.
Killer, yeah. Yeah. He was doing it like it was insane. Like I don't know, he's just like rolling on it like it's a ball. Like I don't know how he's doing it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
I've only trained my neck twice.
Okay.
But all I would do is I wouldn't do any weight because I know people put like weight on their head and they kind of like hold it there and like go up. But anyways, I just laid on my back like on a flat bench.
Yeah.
Like move my neck up and then I laid on my side and then move my neck this way.
Yeah. Even it's like
everywhere.
That's the beauty of boxing too. It's like it doesn't take too much to do what you got to do. Like you don't need like for example when you're playing ice hockey, you need skates, you need a stick, you need all the equipment. Mm-hmm. You don't need that. You literally just I could go like if you and me wanted to go box right now, we could just go out there on the grass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like that universal sport kind of. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
Like other things can like help you translate like. For example, like it was kind of funny. So my senior year of high school, I joined the football team because I was like, I want to be able to say I played a high school sport because I was doing boxing, right? Like and they don't have a boxing team, so I joined that, and like I know in boxing it's a lot of footwork, but so is football. So when I got on the team, I was like, I already had that down pat. Like I'm not bragging. I had the best footwork on the team, in my opinion.
Nice, yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like,
you can, like, what position did you play?
I played defensive tackle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess like I played football since like middle school up to high school and stuff. Yeah. So, anyways. I didn't realize, but I think there's a lot of football work being on the line, isn't there? Like positions and
and just like moving. It's like agility, right? Like getting around. Yeah. So I mean, like even that helped, and like I remember I'd go like we had football practice every day after school, and I'd do that, and then like right after that I'd go right to the boxing gym. Wow. Just like boom, you know. Mm-hmm. And like I was in good shape, man. Like I am in good shape now, but like you know, like you just gotta find like your routine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was good. I only got to play 2 games though, unfortunately. I remember in 2019 actually I had a fight. I think it was against West Point. So it was actually the same like boxers from the last fight that just happened. I fought them here before I even went to the school. Cool. Like I had a fight here, and I remember I got a concussion. I won the fight, but I the first round, I started out kind of like cold, and I got a concussion, and so I couldn't play football, unfortunately. But I mean,
Yeah.
you live and you learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before your fights, what's your morning routine look like? Or just day routine up to the fight. Are you always fighting in the evenings when you do your fights, like tournaments and everything? Like,
it kind of just depends on where you go, I guess. Like typically around here, it's kind of more of a night event. So usually weigh-ins will be at like 2 p.m. and then fight.
Oh, you weigh the same day?
I know, and it's kind of a shitty thing because like it's like you want to just be able to like eat. You want to eat, like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, most people do their weigh-in, then they blow back up.
Right, and then they go fight, and they don't have to worry about it. But like here, it's like, okay, like you're going to bed hungry, and then you're hungry until 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And then, but it's like it's worth it though. It's like rewarding because it's like, okay, I can fucking eat.
And then after your fight, then you can actually eat even more.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, like. You can't just go out and like, all right, I'm gonna get nachos.
Yeah, you can't pound a meal.
No.
Isn't it slow? Like, you got to take like a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like, it's also what you eat. Like, you don't want to eat like anything too greasy. You know what I mean? So like, usually what I'll eat is like, I'll have like, I don't know, a clubhouse sandwich or like a chicken wrap.
Yeah.
Something that's kind of light on the stomach, but that'll give you energy. And then like.
So next fight, I'll whip you up like a little bowl of rice, a little bowl of broccoli, and then just like a little 4-ounce steak. Just enough to
give me some bananas too.
Some bananas, and chocolate milk.
Yeah,
with a little bit of protein in it.
That's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll hire you on the team.
Yeah.
I'll bring you along with me everywhere I go.
I'm chef.
Yeah. That's culinary technician. That's right.
Yeah.
For my, I don't have a routine in particular. I mean, usually what I'll do is like make sure I get a good night's sleep. Sometimes that's hard though, because it's
that's all on your mind, right? You're probably just like envisioning the fight, like your game plan, right? Until you get punched, and then you.
Yeah, everyone has a plan. That's that saying. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face.
Exactly.
So usually I'll do that. I'll try to get a good sleep, like I said, if I can, and then usually I'll get up, I'll weigh in. And then once I weigh in, usually I'll go get some like an actual like main course meal. And then usually what I like to do, because I'm usually towards the end of the night, because like they kind of go off by like weight class. Like the heavier weight classes are more towards the end of the night. So I'll usually.
Are you smack in the middle? Or are you heavier?
I'm
yeah, you can't go too heavy at a.
Well, here's the thing. There's
your age. There's not a lot of like 250s, is there?
No, and even for Canada, like there's not like for amateur boxing, there's not a lot of like heavier guys. Like all like the stacked weight classes are like the middleweights, the lightweights, like, you know what I mean? Like those are the stacked ones. So usually those will be kind of like through like the card, and then like I'll be towards the end. Or if I'm like main event, then I'm like at the very end. So I'll usually I like to like kind of like snack. You know what I mean? Just to keep the energy up, because it gets late, right? It's a late night event, so you get kind of tired, right? So I'll usually do that. But I've had fights where it's like literally I fight right in the afternoon, which honestly I like way more.
Well, something cool which I just learned about last week. Or this week. And I don't know why I didn't think of it. I think it's common sense, really, when you realize. But fighters, like big time fighters, a lot of their events are like 11 p.m.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like midnight, like their fight. So they change their schedule. So they're doing their workouts in like the a.m., like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. They're going to bed at like 7 and then waking up at like 3 or 5. So they're awake during that time.
Really?
When it gets closer to the camp. So like they get into camp, then they start their night routine. So they're as awake as possible. Floyd Mayweather did this.
Oh, really?
And he would be as awake as possible at like 11 p.m. because that'd be like fighting in the afternoon.
Right.
And then they go back to their sleep schedule. But they have to change it. So then if their fighter wasn't doing that, they'd be more awake. And like, I don't know, just on the ball. It's smart.
Like, that's the cool thing too. Like you can like I said, it's like that universal thing I was going back to. Like you can literally like I said, everyone has a thing that works for them, but it could be anything. Like literally just like literally switching your time schedule, like your sleep schedule, just to like perform better at a later time. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But how long in advance do you know your fights? Like you only know in like months, don't you? or a month?
It's very like unpredictable in amateur boxing. Like I know people that like I've never had this happen to me yet, but I know people that took a fight the day of, like the day notice. Like literally they go there and they're like, "Yo, our guy pulled out. Do you want to replace him?" Sure, let's go. Like literally, like typically though, I usually know like at least 3 weeks in advance.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, like for example, like I knew about. Well, actually, I guess Calgary. I'm going off to Calgary November 4th, and then it's actually a short weekend. So we get there Friday, we fight Saturday and Sunday, and then we leave like the next day. But I knew about that, I think, right when I got back from Turkey.
Cool.
Which
wasn't long ago, was it?
No, maybe like 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, 2.5, almost 3.
So you got. Wait, November 4th. You're going to Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what, another week and a half.
Yeah, it's coming quick. It's coming quick. Yeah, and then not right after that. Once I get back, there's a huge card in my hometown, November 25th.
Cool. Where
at? It's in St. John. There's this place called Exhibition Park. It's on the east side of St. John.
I'm trying to think of where that is.
It's like
I don't know my east, north, west. So
okay, so
or west is like uptown, right?
So west is like south, like uptown is south, like where all like the tall like the city part is. It's like south, and then if you go literally just straight ahead, like far, like right before like Grand Bay, like right before Grand Bay, it's like west side, and it's weird. So it's like west is like, how do I explain it? Like east side is like when you come from like say you're driving from Sussex to like St. John, you go Sussex and you go Rossay, then you go east side St. John. It's like as soon as you touch down St. John coming from like this way, it'll be east side St. John.
Perfect.
Where like kind of like it's like
no, that makes
it's
way
where the
more
mall's
sense
at.
now.
Like the mall's at, like McAllister Place. It's like right around there.
Yep.
Yeah. And
now that makes more sense. Now I understand. When everybody was like, "Oh, go to the west side or go to the north side or go to the south side," I was just like, "I don't know." But now from Sussex to going into it, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it is still technically.
It's weird the way it's set up.
From west to east, but it's on an angle.
Yeah, it's like if you're coming in, it's like east, then it's like south, and then it's like what? It's weird. It's like east and then like south's kind of like right here.
It's not really west. South. It's like in the middle.
Yeah, and then north is like just kind of on the line, more towards west. It's weird. Yeah.
You learn it.
Yeah, you learn it. It's not a big city, so it's not too hard. Yeah.
Maybe I'll take wait, when's that? November 25th?
Yep. Yeah, November 25th.
Maybe I'll come by.
Yeah, no, check it out too. Like anyone who's interested in coming out to box, like watch boxing.
Where is it? Exhibition
Park, Raceway. So it's gonna start. I think doors open at like 7. Doors open at 6:30, and we're having Team USA ranked fighters. We're having Team Canada coming down and Team Ireland. That's so 3 different national teams. I'm fighting the number 1 guy in Canada in my weight class. I'm the number 1 guy, but he's the number 1 guy for now.
Yeah.
That's the attitude. You gotta have the attitude, right?
So are you second?
So the way it works. So for there's weight classes, but then there's also like kind of like age groups.
Yep.
So like up until I think. From whenever you start boxing up until 16, it's called junior. And then junior, and then after junior there's youth, which is like 16 to 19. So when I won Canada Games, it was in the youth. So I was ranked number 1 then. But then since elite, I'm an elite now. I haven't been ranked, so I don't even know what.
Really?
I don't even know what I am. I mean, I know what I am, but like it hasn't been. The rest of you don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll find out.
Hasn't been official yet.
Yeah, the soon to be crowned.
Yeah, that'd be wicked. I know that guy. I know him.
Yeah. Remember that podcast?
Yeah. I'll have this sign.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
You're like in the.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Give me a wink and then just knock him.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's
you got the game plan. Whoever you are, number 1 in Canada. Isaiah's gonna kill you. I don't know how to put it.
We're coming, man. We're coming with the heat. Look.
Now he's doing footwork under the table. It's smoking up in here. He's quick. He's
Yeah. No disrespect, but disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a boxer, I guess, who's who's some fighters you look up to?
So I kind of like, like, kind of off topic, but it's kind of like, I'll get to like that question. So, like, I know with like, for me with music, I always have like these like a couple songs I always listen to.
Yep.
And then you move on. So sometimes for me, it's like the same with boxers.
Yeah, right.
So like right now, I'd say, so there's this guy he's from England. He just turned pro recently. I think he's like 3-0 now. He just won a silver at the Olympics this past Olympics. His name is Ben Whitaker. If you ever get a chance, search him up. Like his boxing is brilliant.
Wow.
He literally will just like dance in circles and just make the guy look foolish. Like if you want, like whenever you get a chance, go on YouTube, type in Ben Whitaker pro debut. Like
I will.
Yeah, no, he embarrassed. I feel bad for that guy. Whoever fought, I wouldn't even like. I'd feel bad for me if I fought him. Honestly,
yeah, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. No, so I'd say him. I'll give you top 3. So him, I'd say Devin Haney. I always liked him. He's kind of one guy that I always liked. Mm-hmm. As far as like modern day boxers go.
Yeah.
And then I'd say there's another guy named Earl Spence Jr. I don't know if you heard of him.
No.
He's the current what weight class? He's a welterweight.
Sounds familiar. I try to keep up with like I'm kind of with this podcast, for an example, like, and I'm super interested in like everything from like cycling to boxing to to
a wide variety, right?
Yeah, literally to teaching a class. You know what I mean? That's for an example. So
right.
I'm trying to keep up, but yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay,
Earl.
yeah. So he's like he's a welterweight. I think he's not undisputed. So in boxing, just so we're clear, like just so everyone knows, there's four sanctioning bodies. So there's one that's called the WBC, so that would be like the World Boxing Council. There's the WBA, which would be the World Boxing Association. There's the WBO, World Boxing Organization.
Are these ranked at all, or is it just different sections, basically?
I guess they're ranked.
Not officially ranked, but
they're like, it's like when you go, like, it's kind of like the pro rankings, basically.
Okay.
So like, and then, sorry, the last one was the IBF. It's International Boxing Federation. Now, I'm not sure as far as, like significance, like, if there's more that are significant than the other.
Yeah.
I actually do think, like, so there's 4 belts, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, there's one belt, it's green. That would be the WBC. And I'm pretty sure that was Mexico. Mexico made that sanctioning body. And then I think WBO is USA, and then I'm not sure what IBF is. It might be probably USA. But anyways, he has 3 of the belts, so he has 1 more to go, and then he'll be undisputed. So I don't know what the other word for it is. There's like what's it called? It'll pop back in my brain. We'll keep talking, and it'll probably just pop up.
Sure.
I'll just yell it out.
Boom.
Yeah. Oh, it's this.
It does look gnarly when they have their photo, and like, for example, when he is, what's it called? You're fully
like undisputed.
Yeah. What does that mean? Like,
it just means
fighter.
Like literally you're pound for pound number 1 in your weight class. Like you're the best in the weight class. Like you took all the crowns.
And you took out exactly the title of each sanction.
So for like, a lot of people might even know this, Canelo, right? Like right now he's on top right now. Like like he's a pound for pound king. Like we'll say that. That's a controversial opinion. But anyways, in super middleweight, he's undisputed. So basically, he's basically beat every single champion. So there's like basically it's like there's no one else to beat. Like he's that guy. He's the guy to beat. So and that's kind of like how it works.
It's cool.
Yeah, and then it's cool though. But there's like so many different like belts and titles. Like it's not just those. Like there's ones that are not as big, but there's still significant. Yeah. Like there's a bunch of different ones. Like
there's a million different leagues out there that you're.
Yeah,
like you can fight or cards. I guess you can fight under. Right?
Yeah.
Organizations.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure. Like those are. I know in the pro boxing world, those are like the main ones. I mean, I'm sure. And there's other ones. Like there's like IBO. IBO is kind of a big one. It's not as big, but it's kind of big. It's up there too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, sky's the limit.
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, for real.
I mean, boxing's such a cool. I wish I got into it. I didn't get into any martial arts as I was young, but I wish I got into it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a humbling experience as well. It's like a learning experience.
Yeah.
and you figure out things about yourself and just like
right
your abilities and learn limitations and I don't know, all those things.
No, and like the thing is though, like for those of you who are watching too, like it's not like I don't know what exactly the reason what your aspirations are. Like if you decide you want to do boxing or like podcasts, like I don't know what your goals are, but it's not too late to start. Like I started when I was 16, and like you know what I mean. Like most guys like that I train with started when they were like 10, 11, right? So it's like you know, it's just kind of like just having that belief in yourself and like. Just not like you know, just saying like fuck it, like who gives a fuck? I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna fucking kick ass at doing it. You know what I mean?
You're gonna die one day, so
you
might as well try.
Just live your life, man. You only live once, so I mean, yeah, man. Like I just fucking went for it, and like here I am on the podcast. Yeah. I got to go to Turkey. I got to go to Ireland. I got to go, you know, other parts of the world that I never probably would have went to if it weren't for boxing too. Yeah. It's just one of those things, right?
Yeah. I'm also excited I hope there's a few people that will listen to this. And again, like as I continue, this thing will get just more popular and your episode will get more views.
For sure.
And I hope people that do listen to this actually get to see your journey and follow through.
Yeah,
and just like, I don't know. Like,
and like, yeah. And like the thing is too is like you may not even be interested in boxing, but like just like the advice that like I'm like the shit that I'm saying doesn't even have to necessarily be about boxing. Like you can just apply. That's the thing I like about boxing.
Implement it somewhere else.
Yeah, like you can apply that discipline, that hard work to anything really. That's just a life tool. So I mean, just take it as you see it or how you want it, right?
Yeah. I like that. I love the boxing mentality. Just like get up and run, whether you feel like it or not.
Yeah, it's just kind of like that never quit kind of shit. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I love it. I do want to get into boxing or something like Muay Thai. Sounds super interesting.
Yeah, that shit's
It's
cool,
just like I don't know if I want to take sparring too serious. Like, cause my goal would never be to fight professionally. Like, I'd like to spar people. Yeah, it'd be fun. Just because
for sure.
Practice and like
you can actually kind of figure out if you like what you can do.
Exactly.
It's like the best. It's like the next best thing to fighting. It is technically fighting. It's just you're not in front of people like a crowd.
Yeah,
people. That's all it is. It's no difference.
It's a learning experience and gets you practice and. Yeah, it's work behind the scenes, I guess. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You can still get knocked out. You can still get beat up. It's
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. I mean, all that stuff can happen really anywhere.
Yeah.
From outside to in the ring, you know? Like,
so as an amateur fighter, would you get in trouble if you used your ability outside the ring? Or is it more like if you get caught kind of thing?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, no face, no case, sure. But like, I try. Like, I'm not like typically like I don't like. Here's the thing. Like when I started, but like the reason why I got into boxing is because you know I was kind of like getting in shit. You know, I was getting in trouble. Like you know, I was kind of like I was going down a bumpy road. I mean, luckily, you know, this kind of I'd say you know boxing kind of saved me from that. But I feel like when you kind of learn something, it's like, okay, you respect it, right? You respect what you can do with whatever, like, and like I said, this can be with anything, right? And like, so for me, it's like, okay, I'm a lethal weapon. I can knock people out and like, you know, I don't have to prove anything to anyone, right? It's like, so, you know, like, I don't know, like, it's just being the bigger person. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm not just going to be like, you can't just walk up to me and slap me in the face. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna like I'll never.
That's not gonna settle with you.
No. Because here's the thing, like, and a lot of people are like, because like, how do I explain it? So for example, like, so boxing, right? It's like fighting. So it's like that's your instinct, right? Yep. Except you're in a ring. So okay, if someone's coming at you, punching you, trying to punch you in the face. What's your instinct? It's the fight back, right? So unfortunately, some people, you know, if they're just wrong place, wrong time, well, that situation occurs, it's the instinct, right? Yeah. So it's just like, it's kind of just like what your brain is wired to do, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't go around like just punching people's faces in,
No.
like, not by any means. I'm a super like respectful guy, like, you know what I mean?
That's one thing about martial arts, like any martial art that you get into, is the humbling experience. Is like you realize you have this ability, and your ability isn't to create harm on others.
Yeah, it's
you can use it too if a circumstance was to come and be like, all right, you're in a threat. You're a threat
like
position,
an altercation. Like, if some, like, don't get me wrong, like I'm gonna defend myself. You know what I mean? Like if someone's gonna try to like
hit you with a beer bottle or something.
Yeah, if someone's gonna try to fight me and and there's no other possible solution to get away or to avoid it, then there's
no other option than put it in your own hands, kind of thing.
It's kind of a shitty circumstance. It doesn't happen often, so I mean that's the best way to put it. Yeah. I mean, try to stay out of trouble, guys. I mean,
seriously.
Take those lessons, and do better by yourself, whatever that is. So, yeah.
There's back on the discipline of boxing. Sorry to change the subject. But,
it's all good.
There's a video that I saw, just like one of those Instagram reel videos, and it was Muhammad Ali talking.
Okay.
He said, they're like, how do you remain this disciplined and stuff? And he's like, well, as long as you dodge the nightclubs and dodge the girls, and you're in bed by 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. by himself.
Yeah. No, that's right, man. Like for example, like when I won Canada Games, right? Like, and like this can happen. Like I own up to my mistakes, and like no one's perfect by any means. So, but like when I won Canada Games, like I think in a way it was like one of the best things that happened to me, but it was also one of the worst. And when I say the worst, I mean in a sense of like just being satisfied. Like one thing in this, I know, and one thing in this sport and like just pretty much everything, you like being like you want to stay hungry, right?
Yeah.
So like I think like when I won Canada Games, I was like, okay, like I'm feeling like I'm getting all this attention, all this like publicity. People are like doing like, oh, you're that boxer who won Canada Games, like, so that kind of like that's sad, like that kind of satisfied me for a while, and then I didn't.
It's like I got this title over my head,
right?
I can kind of run with this a little while,
right.
Yeah. And it's like ego basically sitting over your head, I guess in a sense.
No, exactly, and then unfortunately that kind of like got the best of me, and like the nightclubs or like the girls, like the things that'll distract you, you know what I mean?
Just people in general, really.
Just like a social life, just like kind of being out there, because like I'm just that I like to be kind of like out and about doing stuff, so I think it kind of like made me like too satisfied though. I'm not, unfortunately, it's not like that. You just kind of got to stay motivated and hungry. And sometimes it can be tough, right?
Yep.
It's just you have an off day, or it's like, because I mean, fuck, life could throw anything at you, right? You just never know.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to put it, man.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Well, it is 8:30, 8:29 to be exact.
Okay.
So we'll wrap it up if that's cool.
No. I just want to say thank you, Mitchell. I appreciate it, man. I hope you keep doing your thing, man. This is great. Like I appreciate you having me on the podcast. If any of you guys are interested in my social media, it's Isaiah Haya on Instagram, no spaces, ISAIAHHAYA. Check me out. I don't have Twitter or anything like that. Maybe eventually. But
photos are cooler anyways.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's where all the cool shit is. That's
the only thing you should tweet is #1 in Canada.
Yeah, that's
right. Make
a
Twitter account and then just be like #1 boxer.
November 25th, mark my words, #1 in Canada. So, yeah,
I'd like to go. I'd like to check it out. I was going to come here, but then, I mean, again, life, like, I got a life too. You gotta figure things out.
Shit happens, man. Shit happens.
Yeah, but November 25th, I'll mark the date and I'll see what. I'll see
let
if
me
I can
know,
come
man.
around.
Let me know. We'll have to run this back.
Yeah, you're on it. You plugged your Instagram already.
Yeah.
Again, I'll be watching you and keeping up with your
for sure.
Keeping up with your journey.
I'll just keep doing my thing, man.
If you get a random call, because I really like you, Isaiah. Like I genuinely,
man.
I don't know, you're from the start of this like willing to like. Isaiah is an amazing guy. Like he was willing to like figure out times and scheduling and like outside of his own plans, and he was just like to make this happen. It was actually amazing.
You're the man with the plan, bro. I'm just riding your wave, bro. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'll be praying for you as well. I love like every guest I meet. Like I love praying for them.
Yeah, like, for sure. I appreciate it, man.
All your help you can,
respect,
right?
Love, man.
Keep you level-headed and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, and like I said, I wish you all the best with this, man.
Thank you.
What you're doing is great. So just keep doing that, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody, follow up on Isaiah. Continue to watch and listen to the Absolute Podcast.
And one more thing. Don't forget, Absolute Podcast, like you said. You want to check it out. It's you don't want to miss it, man. It's to come up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys.